With the postponement of the centre, Scorched Earth is now the next Ascended map. If Wildcard actually released it, of course. What can we expect? Looking at Scorched Earth on Evolved, we can guess what might be in place for Scorched Earth on Ascended. The devs once claimed that Scorched Earth was complete, but I'm not so sure. I think there is a lot of room for improvement. If we look at the islands and how that changed, we saw some changes to some of the trees, rocks and ore, dynamic water, which most of us turned off as it killed our GPUs, structure changes and certain areas redesigned. Your coastlines, the North Swamp Cave area, Stonehenge. Dynamic water, the Dune Sea. Scorched is a desert, there's barely any water. I'm not sure how much the effect will work on the shallow pools, but what we do have is sand. Tons and tons of sand. The map is circled by the Dune Sea. Could we see more realistic grains? They did have in Evolved the wisps of sand moving, but we're obviously limited by the engine. When we or the creatures move, how will we dislodge the sand? And is it important? It would look cool, but personally I want the game to run well. If I'm unable to see every individual grain of sand, I can live with that. One thing I would expect is more how the Dune Sea looks. It's all very yellow on Evolved. Perhaps the lighting, colours, shading will all be different. Scorched Earth does have rain. It's very rare, as befitting a desert, but it happens. Maybe we see the sands become muddy for a short while. Imagine if the game suddenly gave us life, with rare flowers blooming for a few days. The devs could even add a creature that lives underground for years and only comes out when it rains. A reverse phoenix. Or even a cure or poison for PvP antics. That's me hoping for too much, but who knows, maybe down the line. The mainland is split into biomes. Badlands, canyons, high desert, low desert, the oasis, the mountains, the scar and caves. But they all look similar. The Badlands are the large rock formations. Think of Arizona and the Wild West. On Evolved, these rock formations are great areas to build. The larger predators tend to be around these formations, along with metal and oil spots. To be fair, the formations are pretty basic. The potential here is for a full remodel, with cracks and gaps for the PvP rat holes, nests for RGs. When are we getting those damn RG babies? There could be dens for the Thylos, like the caves with the bears on the centre. If we look at how the rocks were changed in the island, they added more textures and features, so hopefully the Badlands cliffs will get a major upgrade. And in truth, I will probably repeat that throughout this video, as there are a lot of rocks in Scorched Earth. The canyons run through the spine of the map. Here you will find water sources, dry riverbeds, and various plants and trees. The mid-level Carnos live here. This is where I would expect the dynamic water to come into play. We have seen how the islands redesign rock formations and certain plants, so I'd expect to see changes here. But most likely it will be more plants added. At this point in the video, feel free to add your comments below of what you are expecting. Do you agree with what I am talking about in the video? The high desert is where you tend to see most life. There are lots of plants, plenty of dinos, so a lot of people will tend to live here. I would expect to see differences in trees and rocks, with perhaps some restructuring of certain areas. I would be interested to see if they change the design of the water well vents. Honestly, would you know the difference on Evolved? This looks like the high desert. I would like to see more changes to differentiate the two. I would like to see more variety in the flowers. If you Google desert flowers, the desert can be a vibrant, colourful place. No reason why we can't have it on here. As most low-level players could be building on the high-low deserts, I wonder how much, if any, they will redesign. The 3 obelisks are surrounded by oases. This is the best source of water on the map, but these areas will be hotly contested by players, particularly on servers with large populations. The green orb on Island got a facelift, but I'm not sure what, if any, changes will be done here. On Evolved, the Oasis seems to have the most variance in look compared to the rest of the map. I am looking forward to seeing what can be done. Like the Badland formations, the mountains are in dire need of some TLC. They all look the same, black with some scarring. For me, this area is most in need of a facelift, and I think we will see a lot of variety here. Mountains are home to the rock elementals. They stick out like a sore thumb. I really hope they redesign them to blend in more with their surroundings. Harder to find and tame, but a lot more fun as an ambush creature. Like the Badlands, I'd like to see RG nests here. The island saw remasters of all the caves, though the actual structures didn't really change all that much. The spaces were filled in with fauna and crystals and looked a lot more vibrant. I would expect similar here. The Scar, where the Wyvern live, would benefit massively from the power of Unreal Engine 5. The lava, lighting, the possibility of shadows, smoke. This could look like hell on Ark. Truly the one place you do not wish to be. For those that do not know, Scorched was a DLC to pay for legal issues. It was released and then pretty much left alone. It was only recently that the map finally got Ascension and became part of the overall story. For the devs to say it was fully completed and not pay any attention to it for years worries me. Will they have the same attitude and just give a cursory facelift? Or will they take the opportunity to not only look at what did and didn't work on the Island Remaster, but to grab Scorched by the scruff of the neck and make it a map that's essential to play? Time will tell. As always, leave your thoughts below in the comments and check the video on the screen to join in the conversation about the centre and its changes.